here, but essentially it's just plain text. So you go through and say, like, what are the things that need to be done? And following these instructions, Claude would use this to steer, or you would use this to steer Claude's response, essentially. So prior to having this, in the way that it explains code might be different, but because in this case, we're starting with an analogy, so explain it to me like I'm 5 or something like that would be an alternative here. There's also draw a diagram, so show me visually what we're talking about, and then walk through the code that we're talking about. So line by line, let's walk through it. This could take a little while if it's a big piece of code, but it'll actually split it into paragraphs, which is nice. And then finally, highlight a gotcha. So if there is a common mistake or a misconception here, show it to me. Now, this is just an example skill, but you'll notice that it's primarily in natural language. So it's not code. It's really more of like a guideline or a to-do. I don't know if you ever had a run book being on call, but it feels to me something like that, like what to know before you go, essentially. So prior to doing something, the user has said, hey, look at the skill over here, and then this will be added to the context. And using these instructions or a lookup table or what have you, the agent will then go and give you a response. So I think that's like high level overview of what the skills are doing. And I just want to talk about some that I created that I thought might be a good example. So I've made a few agent skills in the Datadog Labs repo. So this is sort of our experimental area. We can play around a little bit more and release things to the public a little bit faster. So I've got a few skills exported here, and I thought I would talk about the PUP one. So PUP is a new Datadog CLI command line interface, and we do have an MCP server as well, which is similar but not the same as the CLI. I think the main thing that's different for this kind of tool is an MCP server with all its tools can live in your context and be very handy to use, but there could be times where you want more tools than that, but you don't want to bundle them all in the context, or you may want to pick 1 or 2 tools without grabbing all. I think when I started this, I had 47, they expanded to 108, but that's too much context if you want to add it all, because you won't be using all those skills at once. So I'll talk about the PUP one. So imagine this is CLI that OAuth authenticates to Datadog, and after doing that, allows you to do things with Datadog. So imagine a way for you to essentially curl the API and get responses back. Now, going through here, there's quite a few things that you can do with the PUP CLI, but the main thing is make sure that you log in and that it hits the API